Hey, this is Gabe, and I'm back for the last video on how to connect your chords up the neck using the CAGED system. Today, this is half diminished and fully diminished chords. So just like in the other videos, I'm going to start with a C major. I'm going to turn to a C7, make it a C minor 7. And now the flat 5 is on string 1, fret 2, if you choose to play it. Otherwise, you can get by with just doing this. Let somebody else handle the flat 5. But here's where we connect. Again, the C is touching the A string. I'm going to pivot over. This gives me my A-shaped. So let me do that again. I got my C minor 7 flat 5 to my A-shaped C minor 7 flat 5. And if you saw my other video, there's a little pro trick. I'm doing a diagonal bar if I want the extra flat 5. All right, so let me continue. So from the A, just like in the other videos, take a power chord. The octave where your pinky is gets you your G, right? So if I'm thinking G, major 7, dominant 7, minor 7. The 5 right now is my middle finger on string 4. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a bar, fret 4 from strings 4 through 2. Then my middle finger is gonna grab fret 5. And you can either go pinky or ring for fret 6 on string 1. I'm gonna go pinky for right now. So again, from the A-shaped, moving the octave, and then I've got the G minor 7 flat 5 shape. So again, half diminished, they're synonymous. If you hear me say one, it's the same as the other one. All right, so from the beginning, so C minor 7 shaped, C minor 7 flat 5 shaped, A minor 7 flat 5 shaped, G minor 7 flat 5 shaped. Again, the trick to get the octave here, I'm touching the flat 7, so I'm going to scoot up a whole step. That's the E string, same as the other E string. So that's where my bass is going to go for my E shaped. For this chord, you might recall the minor 7. The flat 5 is on string 2. So in order to do this, we're going to go separate fingers. My middle finger, fret 8, string 6, skipping 5, muting it. Fret 8 with the ring, string 4. Fret 8 with the pinky, string 3. First finger, fret 7 on string 2. So I'm muting 5, muting 1. So again, this is the E-shaped minor 7 flat 5. So coming back to the beginning. C-shaped, A-shaped, G-shaped, E-shaped. And now, again, just like the other ones that I've been doing, the octave from a power chord or a bar chord, any way you need to find it, is the D string's root. So I'm going to pivot over. If you know minor 7, here's the power chord note. It's going to go back a half a step. This is a 2-finger chord. First finger, fret 10, middle finger or ring, fret 11. So here's all of them connected. I just spelled the word caged. I'm going to do it again. So here's C-shaped, A-shaped, G-shaped, E-shaped, D-shaped, and it begins again. If I want the flat 5. All right, I'm gonna move on to some practice routines. So just like in the other videos, I'm gonna have you count to 4. So grab each chord by the time you say 1. All right, here we go. I'm just gonna count myself in. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Okay, then move on to 2 beats, right? So like 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So if you can do that with 1 chord, you should try it with 2 chords. So I'm going to do C minor 7 flat 5 to F minor 7 flat 5, trying to stay in the same area of the neck the entire time. All right, so here's the C. And the F is here. There's an open note, so it's like a little tricky to find it. So here's C minor 7, flat 5, flat 5 if you want, and then the F. All right, if I move to the next one, if it was C-shaped C, that goes to the A-shaped. The F was E-shaped, it moves to the D-shaped. So now those two together is this. I'm going to show you one more, but again, I'm going to suggest that you do this yourself the rest of the way. So for the next C, right, it was A-shaped, it goes to G-shaped. The F was D-shaped, that means it goes to C-shaped. So here's what we have. And then try connecting them forward. Again, the word just continues. So I just did C, A, G. You would do the E-shaped C. The F was E, D, C. You would do the A-shaped F minor 7 flat 5 next. Okay, so I'm going to move on. You can do 3 chords, like try 3 chords. The thing with the half diminished is they don't really sound that great together as like a full progression, but I'll show you a trick how you can do it in the blues another day. So I'm going to move on to the fully diminished chords. With this one, again, there's a limited number of shapes. So I'm just going to show you like a few of the shapes and then describe how you can connect them together up the neck in any way that you need to. So for the fully diminished, there's really only 3 shapes. So I'm just going to show you like the E's, A's, and the D shapes. So I'm just going to do it in C just for a second. So I'm going to start with the A shape. So if I grab the C on the 5th string, we just did half diminished right here. If I take the flat 7 and I lower it again, you get the fully diminished chord. The thing with fully diminished is all the notes are equidistant. They're all minor thirds away from each other. So this chord, if I move 3 frets away, is the same chord every single time. I'm playing the same 4 notes in all of those places. So that's how you can kind of travel it up the neck. So if I show you another shape, like I'm just going to grab the 6th string, here's the fully diminished from the 6th string. You could think of this as an E-shaped, and I can move this 3 frets forward, wherever we need to move it to. For the D shapes, the D shape is checkerboard, but again, like down a string. Same idea, if I move this 3 frets at a time, I'm playing the same exact chord. So wherever you touch the note that you're looking for within these structures, that is the name of the chord. So if I want to call it G fully diminished, it's G fully diminished. If I move it, the G is still here, but I could now call it B flat fully diminished. If I move it again, the G is on the 2nd string. I could call it C sharp fully diminished. If I move again, the G is now on the 3rd string, but the E is rooted, so you could call it an E fully diminished. However, they're still all G fully diminished. All right, then on the first 4 strings, again, the checkerboard. Sorry. Same idea, same 4 notes every single time I'm moving 3 frets away. So if you need a fully diminished chord, don't worry about 5 shapes. There aren't really 5 caged forms of them. Just think of these 3 forms and how you then move them 3 frets away at a time to connect them up the neck. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed this whole series about how to connect the chords up the neck. So the next series, what I'm going to do is we're going to do these like positional studies. I'm going to have you stay in one spot on the neck, and we're going to start combining the shapes together so we can create 2-5-1s and blues and 6-2-5s and like these normal combinations that you see in jazz and blues and in funk music. But I want to try and keep you close in one spot the entire time. This is the whole point of Caged, is that it enables you to play every single chord that's ever existed within 5 frets. I say this to my students all the time. I think it's like a really interesting thing. Every 5 frets, you can find every note that's ever existed and play every single chord. Major, minor, 7, minor 7, like everything I've talked about in all these lessons. Within 5 frets, you can find every letter and every single type of those types of chords. So, doors opened. Walk through it. See you next time.